Now ready to prove that older is cooler and better. Back in the day, platforms, of course, like Super Mario, the iconic, and Donkey Kong, the original, the OG. We had those games, and then over recent years, games have become mind-bogglingly complex and graphics unbelievably lifelike. But over recent years, we have seen a resurgence of the old-school platform-style games, and Celeste, you will know the name, on Switch is one such game. We're back with our old gaming guru, Gareth Woods. No, you're an old soul, bro. You're an old soul. You're a millennial, but you're an old soul.
Yeah, this gaming thing keeps me young.
Completely, man, or juvenile is the term that gets associated with me. But there is something really awesome, and maybe because we've got just about anything, we're spoiled for choice when we look at the complexity of games and the platforms. And I mean, there's just so much cool stuff happening in the world of gaming, in the gameverse. But there is something cool about old school, and weirdly, Celeste is one of the coolest. Tell us a bit about the story of Celeste. How did this come to be? Because it's not the newest game, but we haven't had a chance to really talk about this.
I mean, there's been such a, I almost want to say a backlog of AAA title games that we've been reviewing over the weeks that, you know, it was finally a chance.
We'll call it the Avengers Endgame syndrome.
A gap in the schedule to finally go back and look at some of the games that made a big splash that were not kind of expected, because I think a lot of the games we review get hyped up for very long, and then we review them, and then all the ones that were the surprises we didn't really have a chance to go. So decided to go back to Celeste, which was, ironically enough, the indie game of the year last year at the Game Awards. This one's on the Switch. As you develop through the game, you start getting all these extra abilities, and you might think at first that, wow, this makes the game easier because at first I could jump, now I can double jump, now I can do whatever. But then the puzzles start getting more complex. So not only is it just double jumping, then it's like gripping onto walls and all that.
And do have I used my one slide for this round? But all due respect, it looked like you were struggling a little bit. Which says a lot, because I don't want to see you just breezing through something.
Fair enough. So,
especially when it's puzzle related, or you want something that's, because a game like this that is kind of simple in its presentation, it needs to ramp up. It needs to develop in its intensity. Otherwise, it's going to be boring.
Well, I mean, here, for example, we've just met this I suppose shadow version of yourself, and if she follows the exact path that you follow, but then if she touches you, then that's kind of the end of the puzzle. So it adds an extra complexity of
something quite dark and
do you go the long way just to give yourself a little bit more time to solve some of the puzzles, you know?
What is it about Celeste that makes it so cool, do you think? I think her so cool. Apologies.
Well, the thing is, not to give it away, Celeste's not actually the name of the character. Celeste is this mountain that you're climbing.
Oh wow!
This is her name is Madeline that you're playing at the moment.
Better on Switch or PC or vice versa? I know you.
To be honest, I just love the Switch for its portability, and it's a perfect game for that.
You play behind your back.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like
trick shots. Do you get?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. How can I do this stage like this?
Get out of here, bro. You're already messing with my eternal.
Oh, no. I would have had it if we were playing seriously.
Thank you, buddy. I'm getting to understand why this game has so much appeal when you look at the old school kind of expression, especially on the Switch as a platform that seems to tick every box.
Yeah.
So you can join Madeline as she tries to conquer Celeste in one of the coolest, in fact, awarded as the coolest indie game of the year last time out, Celeste on Nintendo Switch.